Hi everyone, Bear from Bear Reads Books. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while again and I have a really good reason this time. I've read heaps over the last few weeks since the last time you saw me, but we've had machinery doing a big development down the back of our yard. So behind the garden, behind our fence, there is a huge development of a retirement village going in, and the machinery has been non-stop every day. So getting out in the garden and doing a video has been near on impossible with the droning of machinery. And then inside you can still hear the machinery, so I'm working at home still, and I've had to just put headphones on with loud music or play loud music in the house just to drown out the sound of this machinery. So it hasn't been conducive to doing videos, and I do apologise, but I'm back. For some reason no one is working today. They've all had the day off, the machines are quiet, so I've taken this opportunity. It's really cold, beautiful sunshine, but it is cold, to get out here and do a few quick videos. So first of all, an update. There's so much going on. BookTube Prize semi-finals is coming to a close. I have finally finished the books in my pool, and the final one that I finished was Etaf Rum's A Woman Is No Man. And I'll be doing, once I've had a couple of days just to absorb everything that I've read, I'll do my final rankings, and then following the end of July I will put up a video about how I ranked them and how I felt about them. For those followers of Instagram, Etaf Rum has her own bookstagram account called Books and Beans. So if you've read this book and you like it, or if you've heard of Etaf Rum, she has her own Instagram account just for her as an author, but she also has her Books and Beans account, which is for lovers of books and coffee, which I absolutely am. So if you're a lover of those two things, you should check out her Books and Beans Instagram account. It's really good. But I'll give you better impressions of those BookTube prize books in the coming weeks. But apart from that, there's been a ton of stuff finished. I think the last time I spoke to you, I was still reading this. I was still reading The Rich Man's House by Andrew McGann. Finished it, and it is a big lump of a book, and it is a thriller. It ended up being this slow burn thriller that reached its peak and then came crashing down. It was quite a ride. There's not a great deal of Australian thriller writers out there. This was a thriller in a different mould because it had that, and I think I mentioned before, that strange otherworldly thing going on about it. Like, it's about a big mountain, as I said, 25 kilometres into the sky, but at times it felt, and they wanted you to feel like the mountain was in control of them rather than them in control of the mountain. And they did that. The author did that very, very well. So that was The Rich Man's House by Andrew McGann. Also started and finished since I just felt like I needed to get back to my non-fiction stuff blowing around everywhere, and I read Life Undercover by Amaryllis Fox, and the subtitle is Coming of Age in the CIA. And this has been picked up to be a new Apple TV series coming soon. It's still listed as coming soon. It's starring Brie Larson. And for a non-fiction book, it's quite a slim volume and very, very easy to read. But it lays out the life of Amaryllis Fox as she goes from university student to being recruited into the CIA, to being undercover operative, and it's very, very good. And does a great job of ramping up the tension about what it's like to be a person undercover, to give up your entire life for one goal, and that's a big goal, protecting the integrity and security of your own country. And what she gives up is family and friends and partners and love. She gives up all of that at times in her life in order to pursue this dream of being a member of the CIA. it's a really good biography. And I think Amaryllis Fox herself has since gone on to be a reporter, both for CNN and other news agencies, on foreign affairs and security issues. So she's pivoted her life away from the intelligence services into journalism, which is kind of where she started, or where she got her name from in the first place. It's a really interesting and really well done biography, Amaryllis Fox, Life Undercover, coming of age in the CIA. Check it out. So that's started and finished. I also was finished, let me see, I have finished. So just to run through the BookTube prize books that I've finished now that I've finished them all. The most recent one was A Woman Is No Man, but I haven't seen you since I also finished Alif Shafak's 10 minutes 38 seconds. I also finished Red at the Bone by Jacqueline Woodson, and I also finished On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Outside of the BookTube prize, I have been trying to read as many shortlisted books for the upcoming Miles Franklin Award, which is being announced today being the 16th of July at 4 p.m. Australian time. It's the winner is being announced. And when the shortlist was announced, I realised I'd only read one of the shortlist, and I was horrified. So since then I've read another 2, so that leaving to 3. So I've read 3 out of the 6 shortlisted books for the Miles Franklin Award, and I'll be watching the Miles Franklin Award announcement this afternoon after I finish work, and then I'll do a reaction video later after that. Hopefully the one that wins is one of the 3. So of the 3 that I've read, of the 3 that I've finished that are in the shortlist is Tara June Winch's The Yield, which I've spoken about before, and 6 Minutes for Me has spoken about that as well. The Yield by Tara June Winch. I have also read White Girl by Tony Birch, which was just excellent. And I'll talk more about these books when I do my Miles Franklin reaction video, because I just don't want to take too much of your time today. So that was The White Girl by Tony Birch. And I've also read The Islands by Peggy Frew, and I listened to that on audio. So out of the 6, I've got the other 3. The other 3 just weren't available in bookshops or anything, so they were really challenging books to find, and I was caught out late. But let's discuss those books in more detail when the Miles Franklin gets announced later this afternoon, and I'll do a reaction video. On top of all of that, what I am currently reading is quite interesting as well. After finishing some pretty big Australian books, and after finishing all of my BookTube prize books, I really wanted to go back into my TBR. I can see the machines have started up again. I guessed wrong. They're not having the day off, they were having a couple of hours off. Damn it. So I finished my BookTube prize books, I finished a couple of big Australian books, and so now I really wanted to go back into my TBR and have a look at stuff that I've been really wanting to read for so long and just haven't got around to. So what I've picked up is Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, and I was part of the group to read all of Toni Morrison's this year that Brian from Bookish is doing, and a couple of others that I can't remember. There's a lovely Voxer group going on, and they're about 2 books in front of me, so I'm going to try and catch up. And part of that was rereading Song of Solomon. You can see this worn and tattered copy is one I've read quite a few times already. So I'm rereading Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. I've picked up this, which is now a couple of years old, and it may not be any good, I don't know. It's called Vox by Christina Dalcher. It's about a future where women are limited to a certain amount of words they can use each day. And I'm giving that a go. I don't know too much about it, apart from I bought it probably 2 years ago and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. So I'm going to try those 2, and then I've also got another brand new Australian one on audiobook called On a Barbarous Coast, which interestingly sounds like a retelling of the first explorers coming to Australia. So the man that has considered to have discovered or to have the first European person to have first set foot on Australian soil was Captain Cook and his botanist Sir Joseph Banks and his crew of the Endeavour. And it's a retelling of that history, so it warps that history and retells it. For what purpose, I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm only just into the book and they've just shipwrecked on Australian soil, which is not how it happened in real life. So they've already warped the history quite severely straight off the bat. But we'll see where it takes us. I'm not entirely sure what it's meant to be telling us, whether it's just a warped history or whether there's a message in here somewhere. We'll see how we go. That is On a Barbarous Coast by Craig Cormick and Harold Ludwig. That's a mouthful. And I didn't realise it was a dual author until I had started the book. I just thought it was Craig Cormick, but then it's by two authors at once. And other times where I've tried books written by two authors, I've been disappointed. They've felt like they've been written by two authors. So I'll give this one a go and see how it goes. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, and now the machines have started back up. But I will get out into the garden as often as I possibly can to do a video as long as I can speak without being drowned out by excavation machines. Have a wonderful day, everyone. It is beautiful, crisp and cold and sunny in Australia, and I hope it's great wherever you may be. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.